Emotional intelligence is defined as the inability to identify and manage your own emotions and the emotions of others. An important aspect of any relationship, our emotions along with our ability to adequately identify, express and manage them can make or break a relationship. On one hand, a healthy ability to express one's emotions can lead to a deep and intense connection between two people, understanding one another at their most vulnerable. However, those that fail to demonstrate this level of emotional intelligence will, inevitably, build a wall between themselves and others. Do you feel as though there is a divide between yourself and your partner? Is your relationship lacking something, and you believe it comes back to your ability to emotionally connect with one another? Do you feel as though your partner is out of control, or they fail to exhibit any emotions at all? If your partner is lacking emotional intelligence, this may actually be hindering your relationship's ability to move to the next level. If any of the aforementioned descriptions sound familiar, read on to find out more. Here are 14 signs that your partner lacks emotional intelligence. Number 1. They struggle to maintain friendships. Those among us with higher emotional intelligence levels are prepared to create deep, connected relationships with others. These connections are built on understanding, compassion, and the ability to support one another during life's struggles. Those who lack this emotional intelligence are incapable of developing these deep connections, which can make it difficult to maintain friendships. As the people they meet seek something deeper and more meaningful, they fail to rise to their expectations. While some will stick around, others may simply move on seeking friendships that can fulfill these needs. Number 2. They are unable to sympathize with others. In order to truly feel sympathy, and connect in that compassionate manner, one must be able to not only recognize but comprehend the feelings that the other individual is experiencing at the time. Sympathy is the act of acknowledging how someone is feeling at any given time and reflecting concern for their emotional state. Unable to recognize emotion within themselves or others, those with low emotional intelligence fail to understand the emotions of others and therefore are incapable of feeling sympathy and compassion. Number 3. They are often experiencing high levels of stress. When someone fails to express their emotions effectively, burying them away but not actually dealing with them, they can build up and cause high levels of stress and anxiety. This is due to the buildup of tension and negativity that happens when these unaddressed feelings begin to compound over time. Unaware of how to effectively identify and release these emotions from their life, instead they can lead to such a buildup that it can result in depression, severe anxiety, substance abuse, or even suicidal thoughts. Number 4. They regularly act emotionally inappropriate. Due to the fact that many who suffer from low are unable to truly understand the depth and importance of emotion in our lives, they also fail to comprehend their social expectations associated with them. The result? Often, they will act in a way that others consider to be inappropriate, rude, or uncaring. For example, they may tell a joke at a funeral or celebrate during someone else's time of pain and struggle, like a divorce or difficult breakup. They truly mean well, they just don't realize that their method of acting and coping does fit with society's expectations, and therefore doesn't resonate with others in the same way. Number 5. They are unable to connect with or be moved by emotional movies. When an average person watches an overly emotional movie, they often find themselves sharing in the emotions that the movie portrays. This often includes anger, tears, or fear. However, if your partner watches the movies that highly impact everyone else and they have little to no emotional response to the movie that they are watching, this is a sign that they may have a low level of emotional intelligence. Number 6, they regularly lash out or explode due to their emotions. Sure, we are all going to find ourselves dealing with some strong, even overwhelming emotions from time to time, but as we develop emotional intelligence, we learn how to effectively manage these emotions. This involves figuring out how to express them in a healthy way, rather than attacking anyone in our path. If your partner is unable to control their emotions, regardless of what the emotions may be, this is a sign that they may need to do a little more work. This isn't just lashing out in anger, but even getting over the top giddy and excited without the ability to calm down. Feeling and acknowledging your emotions is healthy, but there is a time and place for letting them all out. Number 7, they demonstrate absolutely no volume control. This isn't to say that they are just loud, period, but they are emotionally loud. This means that when they are responding to something on an emotional level, it is loud, in your face and over the top. Whether they are dealing with a negative or positive situation, those who are around them can't help but know exactly how they are feeling, because they share it in a way that no one is able to overlook. They fail to control their emotions, sharing them in an incredibly loud manner. Number 8, they are unable to cope with sadness in others. If you consider the fact that they are completely uninformed about sadness in their own lives, and how to manage it, is it any surprise that they are also unaware of how to handle sadness in those around them? When someone with low emotional intelligence is presented with sadness, depression, suffering or struggling in others, they immediately find the situation awkward and difficult to approach. Why? They can't understand how the other person is feeling, so they don't know how to respond. If they fail to manage their own emotions, they may find this completely overwhelming. Number 9, they trivialize or downplay emotions in all situations. Failing to understand their own emotions, those who experience a low level of emotional intelligence will often downplay the importance of emotions in all areas of life. In doing so, they are able to relieve some of the stress and frustration that they feel, creating the image that their lack of emotional understanding is far less important than it actually is, due to the fact that it doesn't hold an important role in their lives in general. This takes the pressure off them from the rest of society to figure it out. Don't allow them to fool you. Emotion plays an important role in your relationships, communication, and the way you respond to the various situations that you face in your life. Number 10, they are emotionally tone deaf. The ability to communicate how you are feeling at any given moment is largely shared through your tone of voice. For those that are able to read this tone, associating it with a specific emotion, are able to assess how the people around them are feeling at any given moment. However, if someone is unable to pick up on this subtle hint, then they will remain unaware of these emotions, or tone deaf throughout their communication. This ability to read tone is something that most people are able to do to some degree. Therefore, an inability to understand this form of communication can hinder them from the most basic level of communication accepted among others in society. Number 11, they are completely blind to the fact that you are also dealing with your own emotions. When you are in a healthy relationship, your partner should be able to pick up on some of the nonverbal emotional cues, taking note of how you are feeling in various situations. For example, if they are sharing a story that is making you upset, picking up on the fact that you are starting to get sad can help them to adjust the direction they are taking. Similarly, if you notice that a situation out in public is making them mad, you can help them to deal with their frustration. This support is important and should be reciprocated by both partners. If, however, your partner has low emotional intelligence. They may be completely blind to how you are feeling at any given time, acting only based on their own personal responses. Number 12. They don't understand the family dog. This is a sign that many people overlook. However, dogs are incredibly social animals that both show an incredible level of emotions themselves, along with responding to the emotions of those around them. It's one of the reasons why people are able to connect so closely with their dogs, besides the obvious language barrier. When you are feeling emotional, your dog will respond to your emotional state, offering you the comfort and attention that you require at that moment. As they personally can't understand the emotions of others, they fail to understand what the family dog is responding to. Number 13. They go about their lives wearing a poker face at all times. Low emotional intelligence isn't only noticeable through emotional overload, oversharing how one is feeling at every turn. Some people who suffer from this deficiency in their lives will actually respond by struggling to express how they are feeling at all, at any given time. As a result, they come across as wearing a poker face or a mask throughout their lives, failing to show any emotion at all. While this may be preferred, by some, to the mood swings of those who can't stop showing their emotions all the time, it does hinder their ability to truly connect with anyone else in life. Number 14. They are often frustrated that you don't understand what they are trying to say. Due to the fact that they fail to comprehend or manage their emotions enough to be able to put how they are feeling into words, those with low emotional intelligence will often feel as though others around them fail to understand what they are trying to communicate. Emotions play an incredibly important role in the process of communication, so it is no surprise that the process of sharing their message will fall short with its absence. While you may try your best to listen and understand your partner, without being able to connect on that deeper level or rely on the emotional communication that is usually expressed through body language, facial expressions, or tone of voice, it is difficult to establish effective communication.